I do not like start stream together on Twitch and YouTube just because of when it starts the stream. I'm making like some small like a pause or not pause, how to say, like to people will have time to prepare, and I just put some clips, music clips, and YouTube just banning me like always for this, and that's why I do
Fair.
cut off like start of the stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, now it's on YouTube, and I will send you a link in Discord. One sec, I just will hide our screens for a second.
I also see Fun Modern is asking a question.
Yeah, we will read right now like questions. Oh, you see Twitch now, or?
I can see the chat, yes.
Only chat, but
I can't see the video. I don't know why, but I can see the chat.
That's really interesting. Anyway, let's read like what we have in the chat. Also, I would love to say hello, maybe a bit like with pause, but still hello to Khan, Proxy Knight, Zibox, Chronosphere, Sasha, Rady Evans, and Tatiana. Pink Vowels also. And
yeah, I can see it on YouTube. Okay, so sorry everybody who's watching the stream and it looks a bit oversaturated. That's unfortunately I don't know why. I don't have that issue on my side, so apologize for everybody watching it and thinking what's going on. But Fun Modern had a question. So what's the best software for this? Let's say industrial design things, not only ships, maybe weapons, gear, etc. That depends. It depends what you like, actually. I tend to work a lot with Mo 3D, which is a CAD software. And CAD software is actually quite useful for industrial design. It's great for creating complex cuts into models. However, you lack a lot of freedom when it comes to shapes and the creation of shapes, which you have in stuff like Blender. But in the end, it turns out it comes down to what do you prefer to work with, because you can translate a lot of design principles to any software you prefer. Because it tends to usually more about what you like and applying principles instead of just the software. Because the software I use, like Blender and Moe 3D, I've used it enough to complain about everything about that software.
Interesting. And
go ahead.
I just think like I did try before some application software on iPad, also for with I think like with some kind of like a CAD system, or how it's called, like this with Boolean system. But my experience was like I understand I need a lot of time to learn this program before I will came to the same level as in 3ds Max or even Blender to make something nice. That's why I was kind of like came back to just low polygonal modeling as in Blender.
Yeah. You're using ZBrush right now, right?
Currently, yes. It's for challenge. I'm doing like a character based on a concept of Joe Madureira. I'm not sure. You might know, right? Like Joe Madureira, quite popular.
I think I follow him on ArtStation. Right. I follow a lot of big name artists on ArtStation.
It's a creative director and also founder of Airship Syndicate Studio.
Right. Yeah, I remember who that is, yeah.
Yeah, he did like a Darksiders and Battle Chasers and Ruin Kings, like these games. He's like an iconic concept artist, I think, in the game industry. And currently we have a challenge. And it's more than, I think like right now, 385 members in the group. And today I did save more than 200 pictures. Some people just send it like more than one picture, but anyway, I think like we have for this week more than 100 participators who actively posting something. Some people didn't post on this week, but did post in the last week, and yeah, it's actually we have a big amount of members on the challenge right now. And
That's awesome. That's great.
and
So yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I try to stay away from characters because it's the one thing I am absolutely horrible at. I don't know why. I've the biggest struggle I have with characters, as especially anatomy and stuff like that. I don't know why I don't have that with mechanical stuff, but I have that with character stuff. So maybe it's just that I've always liked vehicles and machines and stuff.
Right.
But and coming back to this vehicle right here, I think that's a big part of why it got so much attention. It has a lot of unconventional ideas in its design. For example, like the cockpit here is at the bottom, behind, pretty far behind in the design. So usually with planes you have the cockpit right here.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have that for the cool sci-fi, you have it right here. But for some reason, it didn't appear into my mind to use any of that. So I started redesigning half the stuff for this plane to use a lot of unconventional methods, like a low front nose. Engines at the top of the plane, which is quite uncommon. It's still being used today in certain types of plane.
Yeah.
And that actually, I think that's one of the reasons why that got so much attention, because none of this is is something like this that is couldn't function, but it's barely ever used, and I think that's the interesting part about it. And of course, the style, the line art, and the colors is also very pleasant to look at. So that might also jump out, especially as my usual work is very mechanical, very militaristic, science fiction kind of work. So that's why this one might have also stood out so much. So
right.
The moment I had some free time, I actually started experimenting, and I wanted to turn this into a 3D model. See if I could solve a lot of the issues.
What kind of issues?
In terms of shapes, in terms of things that don't make sense in the end, like here.
Because it looks not correct for purpose of this ship.
Yeah, and I think I could push this design further than the sketch ever was. So here, for example, that's almost near a final piece where I basically made a concept page showing what everything is supposed to be, why it's there, and I tried to give every detail a special purpose.
Right.
So it would all make sense.
Oh, yeah, it's a great. You have a great knowledge about all the spaceships. It's like you just probably spent a lot of time for reading or watching some TV shows or movies or like some science fiction videos.
And the weird thing is about this design is understanding the things you can take away and need to keep in there. Like a lot of the details in the sketch actually came from mostly random shapes, random little details that actually don't have a lot of direct purpose. But there's also a lot of small details that are so unique and interesting that I definitely want to make sure that they would stay in the design.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, I think I managed. But I also learned that not every shape translates well to a 3D object.
Because it's makes some mess or not looks like great for overall design of like artistic design instead of like be a practical design.
All three combined, actually. Certain shapes just didn't work properly when when trying to translate them through 3D, as there are, like for example, right here. In the sketch, I think it was quite clear that these are different sizes in terms of shape. So combining these properly took me hours to do so, and in the end, I decided it wasn't worth it because it looked horrible and it made the software slow down dramatically. So I came up with a different solution to this.
Right. Also, we have a questions in chat, and it's chat.
Right, yeah.
Art of Saying. He's asking about some kind of ideas. What's came in his mind, and like question is any tips like how to get ideas without for pre-visualized images. Like as I understood, it's about more kind of like a design and how to get it ideas. How you create like ideas for your design, for your concept art.
Then that's actually quite interesting. So let's go back to previous made sketches. Where do I have all the? Wait, was it this one? New. Where do I have them all stored? Right. So let me go show the very start of a whole lot of starships. All of these ships.
Yeah.
This started with a design exercise based on a concept. I took some work from from a concept that already existed, which and some. And there was this. I think partially also was from a ship. And I tried to. It started off as just sketching the ship, and then I saw this concept, and I was like, "Hey, if I could combine those." So I started sketching, and I basically threw almost everything away. Well, there is still some stuff that's survived, like this thing right here, this giant. What you call it? I think I had the purpose for it in the beginning, but this was and so this sketch was a sketch over something horrible I made a day before, and the sketch was done like an hour. And then I basically cut it up in pieces, used more, start using. Wait, I think I have a better file. I have a different file for that. That shows. Was it here? I know. That's a different sketch. Nope. That actually shows how I did that better. Maybe it was 10. I think it was. Wait, where do I have it? I one of these files has all of those sketches. Okay, yeah, I think it was this one.
Right.
Yeah. This is the. Where do I have?
Wow.
And these are all tryouts, tests. I'm trying to do all kinds of. Do I have it here? I'm trying to find the one where I have the. Although wait, here I can see. No, that wasn't this one. All right, so basically, this might be easier to explain. This ship was based on a previous sketch I made, and from that sketch, I basically turned it into this thing. here's the interesting part. If you look closely, like,
Right.
you see all these. Let's make it this. See all these, right? All these things, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you flip the ship, you still basically have the same, almost the exact same shapes, but I sketched them differently and I added guns to them. It's right here.
Yeah.
So basically, it's an iteration of a sketch I made previously. You cut it up, place it into what you think creates an interesting shape, and then redraw the lines. So what you're doing is you don't pre-visualize it in your head. You let the process develop shapes, and I think I can show.
You like playing in a Lego. You have some details, and you just start to take them off or take like a new details on top of your ship, and you're getting another design. Am I correct?
Basically, yeah.
You're not throwing like just your sketches to the can. You just still like just reworking in different way. Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't. I tend to not try and pre-visualize everything, unless it's necessary. Like this is an already. So basically, that's the sketch earlier. So this was the original variant of it, and this sketch, for example, has a lot more in common with the previous one. I just get more flattened, but I don't like the colors. There are details that I think break the design a bit more. So when it comes down to it, this is the more cleaned up version of it. So these are 3 different sketches. Each take around half an hour to an hour to do, and they're basically refining previous ideas. And you basically why I like to do it this way is it can lead to very interesting shapes, like this one, which then where I use the front, for example. I
see. Yeah.
So basically, I turned the front of this ship, into the engines you see here on the side, but I still kept mostly most of the front.
Yeah.
But you can see here,
can you zoom out a bit?
I took this, and I built upon that. I just reiterated.
Right. Yeah, it's actually works really well for sure with hard surface. I was just right now thinking like how it will work with character design. For some reasons, I think like I do remember in some courses of character design, we did some also some elements as model, and that model we did copy paste on a character and then just to scale it from different like a by different axes and like to find new design or like to silhouette will still have similar elements on a character, and all character will be kind of like different elements of character will be connected to each other by shape language. And that's kind of remind me what we did in the character design courses and what you're doing with shapes. But for some reasons, I already forgot about this methodic, and you just right now remind me, and I was like, wow, it's a also your speed, because it's a speed up. You just said like it's 1.5 hour, 3 hour, like your sketches. In it looks as
in most cases, yes, it's a very good way. This is actually an approach I learned while I was working at Opus Arts. Opus Arts has this methodology, and basically the way what they do is actually every day before they start working on client work, you get a maximum of an hour to warm up your brain. And what you do then is you either start sketching something you want to sketch, or you start practicing something you're struggling with, or you sketch something that's on a daily schedule with what's the idea that you have to do today. So And basically, the idea is to start every day with half an hour to an hour sketching before you actually start doing the client work. So your mind is basically warming up to do the actual work.
Yeah.
And yeah, that basically. So in the end, that led to this design and to this one, and that's actually quite interesting because something I want to show. Let's see, where do I have it stashed? All right. Before I continue to this one, let's go. I want to show you something really interesting, and that's
let's go.
How I put this into 3D.
Right. That's. I mean, like, I'm kind of confused because previous sketches was completely just from photo. You did in Photoshop without any 3D like a basis, even, right? Like
exactly. Yeah.
That's so. Your sketches looks like already as 3D. It's crazy great, and you start.
I think that's because I use a lot of 3D in my work. That subconsciously you start thinking about the things you can see and can't see, and that's how you then start drawing.
Right. Also, I know like you're making like a lot of paintings of environment, right? According of your Instagram, I have seen like just tons of sketches.
Yeah, those are all me trying to learn color theory, and there's something relaxing about drawing clouds and drawing environments where you can just enjoy the colors, enjoy
right. Yeah.
the sky and everything. And so basically what you can see here right now is the final model. And the challenge for myself is to try and stay as close to the sketch I made as possible and keep it in the same style. So I had to figure out stuff like this, what you see in the sketch. Wait, where is it? Where do I have the sketch? I just closed it. That was a dumb idea. But right here, you can. Let me. Wait, it doesn't show me. Wait, I have to. Okay, so you see something like this right here. It's the nose, and then. This isn't the most difficult part yet. Like in terms of when you look at it from this angle, the proportions all seem to match up. Because these cones, it all adds up. But I removed this asymmetric element that you have right here, because something that just makes no sense, especially when you already have a direct symmetrical aspect to it. But I did widen it a little bit, so it would function more like a frontal wing. And the idea in my mind is so it would help with the lift of the vehicle, because this is such a massive block at the front of the plane. So it would need more wings to help it lift. So I'm always so subconsciously I think that my mind is always thinking about some form of functionality, some form of logic that could be applied to the design. And
right
here, and that also gave me time to think about different details. Like what you don't see in the sketch is here. That's the engine intake.
Yeah.
And it's basically, because it's not going to be animated, it's just half of a fan blade. And and it allows me to think about certain designs, certain details, because it allows me to fully grasp the concept, fully grasp the idea what I'm working on, and I think that's how my brain works, and I can come up with a subtle solution that you might not directly see, but right here, I added this. Cylinder, so I could give these engines that are here on the side, which basically if they would just would be stationary, they would blast against these big engines, and that wouldn't make sense. But
Right.
now that I had added cylinders to it, I could use them to turn slowly, to make them turn to other angles.
Mm-hmm.
So I could justify these engines to be used for maneuvering capabilities instead of just keeping the plane in the air.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can see also a question about Marnix. What your main inspiration to start designing? How you're getting inspired?
I think that's a good one. How do use? Yeah, that's a good question. How do I get inspired? Well, this design specifically was because it was already a sketch that got a lot of attention, and I wanted to see if I could solve the design issues within this within the drawing and maybe elevate this design. But half the time I see something really cool either on the streets, or I see something on the news, or I see some artist on Instagram like, all right, I made this thing really cool. I'm like, hey, I could also make something that can fly. But yeah, when it comes to inspiration, it's usually when I'm thinking. I think that's from my background in studying game development, where we start thinking what would be cool to interact with. And
Oh yeah, you studied as a game designer. I didn't know.
game development, yes.
Game development. As 3D artist, or what's kind of like your direction was 3D art, right?
So I learned 3D, I learned some VFX, I learned level design, stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, but then, as I understood, it's like just everything what's around you, even like environment around or games, like it just inspired you. But why you just decide to? Because I remember in the past we met on some drawing sessions in Breda. Breda is a city, Dutch city, and some drawing sessions once or twice, I think, in a month, where you can came and you can draw some cosplayers in a live session. And I've been there. Marnix was been there. I also remember Loish was been there, and we met there. And as I remember, it was like 8 years ago, and you didn't have then like in that time you didn't draw any spaceships or like kind of technical design. You just more kind of was about like to sketching some people, like some characters. But I think like it's kind of something not recent, but only like 8 years ago you start working in that direction. Like what did inspire you like to just switch or start to work on a hard surface instead of characters?
I think that my affinity for mechanical designs, mechanical things, which I've always had an interest in, is probably the one thing that stuck with me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I did what everybody else told me to do to become an artist. You have to learn this, you have to learn that, you have to do all these live drawing things. And I definitely do think that the live drawing is really good because it helps you develop a visual library, and it allows you to learn how to look at things and how to translate that to your work, to your and it helps you subconsciously understand how things work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think mainly it was because the affinity that I managed to get a lot more. I was able to a lot better develop and create my ideas better when I was trying to learn about starships and how they actually function. That made me easier. That made it for me easier to pick up than trying to do the live drawing. Because I have tried to do a lot of character design in the past, and I struggled at every inch. I was struggling with it. Even though everybody said you have to do environments, you have to do character, you have to do this, you have to do that. You always have to do it.
Right.
And I think that if 15 years ago, from high school, I understand. I knew when I was just leaving high school that you could become a car designer and study car design and industrial design. If that was an option, I probably wouldn't be working in the gaming industry right now. I would be maybe work at BMW or some place where you actually work as a car designer. But back then, I did not know that was an option because I didn't know you could actually study for that. That actually came way later when I was already trying to get into the gaming industry.
Oh, you can see like it will be more profitable for you even right now to go to more kind of like car design or to another art institute. I see, because it's not about right now 3D. It's more about design, and probably in a game academy, like in academy where you studied like a 3D art for games. It was a lot stuff what you don't need right now for your direction.
Maybe not, but it allowed me to understand how a game gets developed and everything. And I genuinely like the process of it. I like working together with people. I like to bring ideas to life that you then can experience. And that's also and I've noticed that my design still is lacking something very important, especially for a plane, and that's a landing gear. And that was something I actually want to tackle right now. But I also want to show one of the secrets, which I always try to keep within my process, and that's having a human character for skill. So you can, so when you look at my design, you understand how big this plane is.
Yeah, I see.
And the funny thing is, this isn't actually that big of a plane, because right now most planes, most civilian aircraft are far larger than this plane actually is. Like, he might be small, and I'd like to think that he can sit right here in this, where the cockpit is, because this right here is. I envision this to be the entrance to the cockpit, and it's small and cramped. It might be a bit uncomfortable to sit in.
But I mean, a lot of like machines, like a war machine, they don't have really comfortable probably cabin for a pilot, or as I see, like especially in the tank, when I could see like how people like their positions, how they're sitting in the tank. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not an expert, but at least on the videos what I have seen.
Nowadays they are a bit more comfortable because they do understand that if the people inside those machines are comfortable, they can perform their functions better.
Right.
But but this plane isn't designed to be military. This thing is actually to fly in high altitudes for long periods of time.
Right. Yeah. It's
and I reduced most of the little assets, so the software would run more smoothly, and I would still have 90% of what I need for this plane to function.
Right.
So I can get a group rest.
I've been once in a submarine, like from Second World War, like a time, and I remember how small everything is there, like just but it was military purpose. Anyway, but I will also read like one more questions here, like not one more, but, and it's also. So you make abstract choice as you make it development process rather than copying a pre-visualized ideas. That's mean like as I understood, like just playing with shapes. It's like really abstractly, but with kind of like your vision and understanding shapes language, right? Like, and probably purpose of the spaceship, you basically not creating like in your head first like a I don't know, like a concept for your design of spaceship. It's like a really, really abstract only shapes, and you starting like just during a process adjust everything and concepting.
Partially. The idea is usually there tends also to almost always be a level of function, or there always is some sort of an ID present.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's about what type is it gonna be? Is it gonna and then you start thinking about, is this gonna is this gonna is this interesting to work with? Or all right, so it has to have a certain purpose, a certain function. How am I'm trying to articulate the way how my brain works.
Right.
In most cases, the reason why you play with shapes and shapes first is because you have a certain hierarchy in how big, medium, and small shapes work together.
Right.
And you start thinking about what type. So is the big shape gonna be part of its overall design language, or is the big shape the big dumb thing that makes that makes it stand out? Or are you thinking about, is it going to be very simple shapes with a lot of complex little details, and why? But when I think about it, almost everything I design or try to design always has some form of a story element to it. Like, is this going to be part of, is this going to be military? Is this going to be a simple design that just is that could be fun to fly around with? Or does this has to be a very complex mechanical machine that does very complex function that could be very useful? Could this be humanitarian? I like to think that it's never fully out of nowhere. I think there's always some element to it, like maybe, for example, because the funny thing is, a lot of inspiration can develops while your mind is wandering. So when I'm, for example, riding my bike towards a city and I see, for example, helicopters fly over because there's a military base not far from where I live.
Right. Yeah.
Then it's always interesting to think about how would it be to fly around in one of those things, or what other functions could they have besides military applications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. You just your brain creating like according of situations, creating like a design of your spaceship according of purpose, right? Like you're just starting something like maybe really overall, and after you just start thinking like what you need for this spaceship, and or for what this spaceship, and or what kind of mechanical, technical tools should be on the spaceship, and design start appear. Am I correct? Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's probably also one of the big reasons why I really enjoy science fiction a lot. Because the thing with science fiction, it's not supposed to be that it has to exist, but it's always there to a what if. Like, what if we could do this? What if we could travel to the moon? Or what would happen if we could travel to Mars? Or what would we need to travel to Mars? Or what would we do if aliens actually attack? Like, maybe the aliens are very stupid, and it's very funny to see them fail against our
have sense. Yes.
primitive warfare, or they are so advanced that they completely underestimated us, or they're just here to see us do something stupid, you know. But it allows for a what if without the burden of if it could really exist. Like it creates this philosophical, which you sometimes have in philosophical lessons, where it's like, let's do a thought experiment. What would happen if something changed, or if all of us humans suddenly had an IQ of 200? And basically, science fiction does those same things, and it allows you to explore those ideas.
Yeah. I see. Right. Could you sketching in 3D speed up your work, or it's better to make it in 2D?
Good question. Actually, that specifically depends on where you are in your process, I think. I like to start sketching in 2D first, just to see if any of my ideas actually have some level of merit. And it allows for very quick iterations. However, I do think that in 3D you can sketch far more complex shapes
Right.
easier. But you do that with the intent to see if your idea actually works from each direction.
Oh, yeah.
Because my background is in video games, so I have to always think about how would a player interact with what you just designed.
Right. And because like just in 2D you have less problems with you don't need like to check in all like angles. It speed up your process in the first stage. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Like you don't want to start in 3D directly, and that's mainly because you have to refine so much of your idea first. And that's something you can probably do a lot more accurate and a lot better in 2D.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean. I also kind of like prefer always to make first some concepts for my ideas rather than to blocking them first, because like in 2D I can fast find any shapes, like a combination of shapes, because when you're starting making 3D you're always rotating and you need to already like it from all that angles to find like a nice curvature or nice like a combination of flow of these shapes from in a 3D-dimensional world, and it's became like a more complex than in 2D. That's why I was like, yeah, I kind of prefer always to make sketch first for the same reasons, I would say. Hello, Vasya. Nice to see you. I hope you had a good dream day today. Hi, fellow 3D guys. Hello, Menal. All right. And you're working right now for Paradox, if I don't mistake.
Not anymore. I wasn't directly employed by Paradox. I was actually working for an outsourced studio who was, for a studio that was hired as an outsourced studio to work for Paradox.
Oh, right.
So what I did was I was working for Stellaris.
Yeah. And I think like because you like to make spaceships and Irish, like all the vehicle design, it might be like a work of your dream, job of your dream.
Yeah, it was really, really fun to work for Stellaris. Basically, I was hired to basically do the design work for a different studio, because they are working on their own IPs. But they still need the money to develop that, so they act as an intermediary for Paradox in order to do the work.
And you did work only like a concept art for this game, or
Yes.
Oh, it's great. I probably, because when you're working as 3D artist for the spaceship designs, it became as a bit as hell, according of some technical purpose in 3D. I mean, like, because you need to create a lot of low poly, what should work like properly for in animations and all that stuff. It might be, I'm not sure. I'm just not like a vehicle 3D artist, and I always trying to avoid all vehicles in the game industry, like to not in a design wise, but more in a wise of in a way of 3D art creation, like a 3D modeling of vehicles. Because I don't know, I'm not big fan of poly modeling of vehicles. What you're doing, I could see it's a design. It looks like really fun, and yeah.
Oh, the thing with with being being a 3D artist that actually models everything for the game is you basically have to follow the concept, and the idea is basically you want most of that figured out before you get it.
Exactly. And I think it's it's really fun part, like to create design. And you, like, if you're 3D artist, you can like lose a lot of that. Yeah, and especially in the vehicle design.
I feel that depends per artist. That's
Okay.
Every artist has the different interpretation of it. But what I do know is that in a lot of cases, a lot of 3D artists like the fact that I also work in 3D and usually tend to finalize most of my designs in 3D because
that's great.
That's great. Gives them more information for them to work with.
Right. Yeah, I see. But okay, I just kind of want to say your job as creating concepts, for me, it looks like most interesting part of spaceship design. And probably it's, I don't know. But of course, someone probably just love to model. And you have a great concepts. It's also probably makes people love to work with you as like some 3D artists.
I always try to do my best.
That they came to you and asking like about some certain parts of your design, or maybe like what was your idea behind how to model this idea? Maybe it's something became difficult on a on a certain levels because you're designing and you're showing, like, for example, half of ventilator. But what if another half of ventilator came inside of spaceship, and 3D artists don't know like what to do with that, and maybe there should be some, I don't know, a sector with a slab camera, sleeping room or something, I don't know. Is it any situations happens like this when they came and asking about your design, and like maybe just these questions, or it's always clear for them everything what you're designing?
In a lot of cases, when it's not clear, it tends to come down to specific details, or you can always overlook. And in some cases, concept artists don't go into very fine detail in order to give the 3D artist more freedom. But
oh, right. I see.
Not all 3D artists like that. So it depends on the artist in question, I think. But I do think that in the case of working at Slava, for example, it dramatically sped up the process, because the 3D artist had like 90% of the entire shape in 3D ready. So he did not have to do that much guesswork himself.
Right. I see. Okay, cool. I mean, because when I did work like on some vehicles, I worked like for World of Tanks. Maybe you know this. Yeah, probably you know this game. It's quite popular.
Almost everybody knows this game. It's one of the most popular games in the world right now, I believe.
I work as kind of manager of small team of, I think, 4 or 5 maybe was people. I don't remember exactly, for World of Tanks. We did for Atterdax, like for Belarusian games, like for Atterdax company and for wargaming, and we worked in 2000, if I don't mistake, 2012 or something like that, and or no, before 2010, I think, even, because like I did live in Siberia at the time, and we did first textures for World of Tanks. Even before World of Tanks released, it was like we didn't know like what game will be so successful, and we did. I mean, I haven't made any textures. I just mostly like write like a tasks, something like that. I've tried to organize some small team in the past, like a 3D artist, and to like outsource team. And I remember in the World of Tanks, it was a lot of feedback about accuracy, historical accuracy of textures, because like we did textures before it started be like we did not sculpt like any high polys. It was we did generate normal map from diffuse map, and diffuse map we used for diffuse map we used photos, just just normal JPEGs, something like that. And I remember it was forbidden to draw any stuff on texture. You need to cut some special sectors from photos and just connect to each other to one texture. And feedback was like so accurate. Like there was a historical guys like who just explaining everything like about every single bolt and tool on a tank and how it should be, or like a positions, like 2 centimeters right, 2 centimeters left. And I remember, I think like for one texture, it was estimations was like from 1 month to 2 months, something like that. It was just for texture, for diffuse texture, and generation of a normal map after.
I've heard stories about it. Yeah, that some of their they also do World of Warships, and it takes months before they release another for each ship to be developed, because they try to be that accurate to it.
Yeah. As I know, like it's a lot of guys who playing like these games. They are really big fans of historical videos and vehicles, and like they are really like picky, and they knew it like some even details as this tank was created on this factory in this year, particularly in this like land, and and that's why it's like this is mark is like this, and yeah. And as I know, like our gaming trying to make super accurate for fans all the techniques, but in the same time, if we will not speak about design and 3D art, about gameplay, as I know, like a gameplay there is most like not realistically correct. It's just more for fun created. Like you still it's like a computer game. I mean, it's not a simulation of tank. It's just a computer game controlling of the vehicle. Anyway.
Yeah, that's one of the things with Stellaris. It's Stellaris really has this language in its design where it always comes down to the specific style of the aliens that you're designing for. Their style needs to be they have a certain idea for how these aliens are gonna be, so how all the architecture is gonna be, and so they all have. So each race basically has their own very specific look for their starships.
How many different races there?
At this point, it's probably near 60, maybe more.
60? Wow, it's. I haven't played Stellaris. I've seen like in Steam. Is it like a? I did work before a bit for Surviving Mars. Is it not as? No, probably it's a different. Because as I know, like it's a spaceship kind of not simulation, but economical game, right?
Yeah, it's a strategy game.
Strategy. Maybe you can tell a bit like more about Stellaris. What?
So Stellaris is basically a 4X space strategy game where you have to combine where you combine economy with resources, with population, space combat, politics, and everything into one game.
Right.
And your goal is basically to win the game, and basically that tends to come down to galactic domination, and there is a lot of ways to do that.
Oh, it's and how many hours like average game through?
Depends on the size, but people tend to spend hours on it per match. It's incredibly.
It's a session, like a how it's called, like a. It's not a session game, right? Or how it's called, like you have session and you just.
It doesn't have it doesn't have a direct campaign.
Because I remember a game, Transport Tycoon. In the Transport Tycoon, you need to live in a game, I think 100 years, and 1 year it's 1 hour of real time. You need to to play 100 hours, I think, to finish. If I don't mistake, maybe I'm wrong, but I never finished. When I was like kid, I was trying to play on the PlayStation, and 100 hours it was a bit too much. Also, it's get like all your memory card, all blocks of your memory card, all that savings. It's why you want to play something else or Transport Tycoon only.
In single player skirmish, it can be very quick. It can also take maybe 20 hours. And you also have, it's also very popular in multiplayer, so it's.
Here we have more questions. And did Marnix work as a 3D designer in any engineering production?
No, actually no. But I have been contacted by some people from the aerospace industry from Germany to work with them on a project, which they are very excited about. But so far, they only said like, yeah, this is really cool. We want you on the project, and they haven't presented any contract yet. So I don't know. But yeah, the aerospace industry seems very cool to work with.
Yeah, I mean, like it sounds as next step, huge step after games like 2K to real space industry. But what kind of role they want for you, like to designing some? I mean, I'm confused, like because you still as more like a concept designer, not like a real engineer, or they.
That's. I would still be working as a concept designer. I would design most of their concepts, or I would design what they would have these projects where they want a very specific design, where it's like we know on a technical base we can make a lot of these things work, but all of them are engineers. Nobody knows how to make something look cool or create an actual concept that we then can promote or something like that, or a direction we want to go in. So it's like we know exactly how the mechanical parts of the engines function and how the rotors work and where all the hydraulics have to be, but it doesn't look. But that's just the bare bones of it. So
interesting. Is it important because I was thought it's everything about the specifically for spaceships. It's not about looking cool, but more about to function and. Yeah,
you'd be surprised. Actually, that tends to play quite a big role. I don't know if you know about the development of the F-35 stealth aircraft.
No.
But there is It's the newest American fighter jet.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a different plane also in development, which had almost the same characteristics and performed at almost the exact same level.
Yeah.
However, it looked a bit goofy. And I tell you, it might have even been a cheaper design.
Yeah.
But nobody went with it because it just looked goofy. Even
Oh
though
my.
in test flight it performed the exact same.
You mean like a scientist just came to the spaceship and they said like, no, it looks not cool. We need another one. We need the Marnix for it.
Yes. Even the most utilitarian designs actually have some level of beauty to them. It's very human to like things that are good looking.
I'm surprised, to be honest, because also yeah, I'm from an environment of USSR, and USSR spaceships. It's like, I think just was a pipe and like a rocket reactive engines, and that's all. No design at all. I mean, visual like design. I actually, when I was like, I think from 9 to 12 years old, I've studied, I've been in some club, air modeling club, and I did rockets and yeah, I haven't made any airships, but copies, like I did some copies of rockets, copies of airplanes, and I also remember some competition. Your rockets, like we just use like also some like special engines. It looks like a bit as fireworks, but yeah, they basically how to say, push it your rocket from a ground to the skies, and after your rocket just starts landing on a parachute. How's it called like English? I think it's a French word. I think it's the same, right? I kind of confused. Yeah, parachute. And on parachute, it's getting landed, and you have also judges and like also commission. They looking how much time your rocket just like this landing time, how much time it was, and they check different competitors, challengers, and like whose rocket was like a longer get landed, his win. It was something like that, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, how was it actually? Now you are an artist living here in the Netherlands, but as you said, you came from Siberia, right? So.
Oh yeah, I did live like my first 23 years of my life in Siberia, and after I moved to St. Petersburg, and in St. Petersburg I think spent 6 or 7 years. Absolutely amazing city. I love it. I think it's one of my favorite. A lot of rain and gray weather. I love it. And after I moved to Netherlands, and Netherlands is again like a lot of rain, but not this summer. This summer is really hot, and it was terrible. Like a few days ago, it was plus 38, I think, or 37. You might
36. Yeah, it's not the hottest like it has ever been, but it is surprisingly hot. And luckily, those days they tend to be exceptions. Even in summer, it was never uncommon that it was going to be 35 degrees, but usually that was like for just a day or two in most cases, and it happened like a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, a few years ago, it was 2 or 3 years ago, it was even 40 to 42 degrees here in the Netherlands.
Oh, really?
And that's odd. That's very uncommon. That has never happened before.
I probably miss it like these days, but I don't remember these days. But yeah, I'm living for now for 8 years. In Netherlands, it's really yeah. I mean, like when temperature higher than 30, it's like it's became really hard to to stay outside or inside. It's like, because it's humidity is really high level. It's like technically it's so warm everywhere. But
Yeah, it's
I love Netherlands for rain, for weather, as like a really, grayish clouds and all that stuff. It's amazing. It's not hot. It's like a really perfect time. It's a perfect weather for sitting at home and just draw or paint or modeling, because it's make you like feel comfortable just with your coffee around your monitor. Yeah. Also, I think like a temperature is so. I love what it's not so high contrast between winter and summer. It's kind of always something around from I don't know, from +5 to +15 degree, like an entire year. You don't need like a special shoes for your winter or for your summer. Most of the time it's the same shoes, because in Siberia it's -40, +40. It's a crazy contrast. In Netherlands it's much
-40. That's just
yeah. It's just you're just running from a bus to your academy and back, like you're just running, but you just not. Yeah, and in summer it's +40. It's also like it's so asphalt is starting melted. I have some messages in the chat. Technical modeling is so hard. Vasya is saying, I never like university, but it's interesting.
What do you mean by technical modeling? Like what I do right now in CAD software, what I'm doing right now, or just how complex modeling actually can be? Like if you want to make game-ready models, like.
Good question. Because currently, as I understood, like you as professional with this program, you just don't have any struggling with modeling, right? It's became easier for you to.
That's because because you don't know the struggles that you can easily encounter with this program. And that's specifically, for example, let's say this shape, for example.
Yeah.
You see how smooth and curved this shape is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare in this program.
Okay.
But on the other hand, just making cuts like this is incredibly easy. If I want something complex as what you see right here in the front, and that's one of the easier things to do. This is one of the few reasons I really like using the software. And any more complex, especially when you go into car shapes or planes or something like that, the shapes can be extremely difficult to pull off in the software, because I think it's also because it's unstable and it's all created by one guy. So solving all those issues that you have to solve to make the software viable is a challenge. But let me show you how simple most of this can be. Let's make sure that it's big. Let's just. And the idea, and just making cuts like this is one of the best things the software can do. Now.
Oh yeah, I see all the booleans. It's
all booleans. It's all.
True. It's a CAD program. You always work in CAD. Yeah. I
don't always work with CAD software, but this is one of the software that I use now. And the moment I made this cut, you have this very complex shape. It's calculated for you, and you already have it. So one other thing which is really cool, which you can do with the software, for example, I select all these faces, and let's make it smaller. Let's make it 2.2. As that this calculates all the edges it's directly aligning to.
Yeah.
And oh wait, something is wrong. Something isn't. I think that's because of this. Oh yeah, it doesn't like that much. because it aligns all the edges on the outside because you have selected all the edges. Let's redo this. Let's make it. No, wait, that's too big. Let's make it smaller. Okay, so the cuts were a bit too complex, so the rest of the model disappears. That's unfortunately a downside of this. We can solve that, for example, by let's look like this. And it removes this part, and okay, so this is how a lot of the model is starting to look 10 times more complex than it actually is, and the real struggle was creating this base shape. But what I can do now that I have selected all of these angles, let's do it. Don't select those. I do like that it has a great user interface. It's very barren and very simple, but that also makes it very easy to use. Like you can do almost any operation with just a click of a mouse button, and that speeds up the process for modeling in this software extremely fast.
Mm-hmm.
Now that with this, we can make it bigger. Let's do 1. Voila. And now you actually suddenly have a very complex shape. And this is all Boolean operands. So when I place it back here, back into... You get this very unique shapes that then make it look like it's intersecting with each other.
Yeah.
This is how you can, and this is one of the reasons why I like the software so much, and this is also the reason why you see all these weird cuts everywhere, as if it's been attacked by moths.
I see it. Yeah.
But it's a very destructive workflow. So once you made the cut, it's you just and you go and you make a ton more cuts, and you model a lot more. You can suddenly go back and clean up one of your cuts that you made very early on when you think you might have made a mistake, because then it just doesn't do that. So all of these cuts are basically final, and that can be very tricky to work with.
Mm-hmm. Because okay, why it could be tricky? Because like if you will try to make more like booleans more than from 2 objects by 3 objects, it became kind of like a buggy or laggy. I'm not sure.
Not necessarily, but if you want to adjust the shape of your main model, because in the end the design doesn't speak properly with the rest of the shape, then it can be extremely difficult to properly adjust, and that. And you can't change most of the shape cleanly. Like you can create clean shapes, but after you created them, you can't just subtly enhance them or subtly change them like you're doing right now in ZBrush, for example. That's practically impossible with the software. So it really depends on your workflow, and it is quite a challenge to learn how to work with it.
Right. I see, but it's still for technical purpose. It's probably best choice instead
It's probably the fastest, yeah. So, I mean, technically you can build human 3D models in this, but for the sake of keeping your sanity,
right.
Don't. I mean, I think that is possible. It's just, I do not recommend it. I don't think anybody would recommend creating a human model in a CAD software.
Right, I can imagine. But in the same time, I know a lot of also weapon artists, 3D artists. They are using also CAD programs right now because it's
Yes.
easier. I see. I see.
It's incredible for guns. It's incredible for complex mechanical shapes,
Yeah.
which are very. They tend to be very precise, and this is this is one of the reasons why this type of software is so useful for hard surface artists like me and a lot of weapon artists.
Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. Maybe in one day, I'll. To be honest, I've tried like once to to make like a 3D object as a, I think as sword for character, and I opened this CAD program, and I was like spent 2 days with video tutorials and everything, and I was like, it's probably not worth it for me because like I need only one asset for my character to create like in this program, and I was kind of surrendered, and I came back to just modeling by polygons. But
I mean, you already use ZBrush, and if it's just for concepting, why not just stick with ZBrush? Because ZBrush is also surprisingly often used to make concepts like that.
Yeah, I think I have seen even questions about this. I was like I probably missed that question. Something about ZBrush to use in the pipeline of creating spaceships. Somewhere in the chat. I'm not sure if it was there. Anyway. It was difficult to calculate the error and model the elements of the airplane. I can confirm I live in Netherlands, but I'm getting bearable now. I think like it's just a few days of this summer. Nederlands heel mooi land. Ik houd van Nederlands en culturen en ook mensen hier. Heel leuk, heel mooi en eten en regels ook voor mij. Het is beste tijd. I don't know. I've tried to speak Netherlands, but maybe.
I also see a question. Somebody said if I've ever modeled humanoid robots, and it depends what you call humanoid. A robot with 2 arms and 2 legs, basically with the same idea of the proportion of a human. Then yes, I've done that. That's not that difficult, but having a human that acts as a machine, no, I've never done that. What do you think? Like you as already professional with these CAD programs. Can you try like to make any portraits based on? Just normal human face, like in the CAD program. It will be possible, or completely not, or impossible. No, it will be possible, but it's probably such an incredibly difficult process that I'd rather not try it even. There's like 1,000. You can do it 1,000 ways easier, and that's probably also because CAD software was never designed to model humans.
Yeah. I remember in the past it was a program. It was called like a Rhino 3D, and with NURBS modeling. And some people, I think, tried like to make. I remember even in like 15, 20 years ago, like even tutorials how to make a character by NURBS modeling. And I even tried, but it was hell. And it also was time when people didn't know like what is best way of of what kind of programs to use for certain different direction. We have a question. I see Hello Manal writing like a polygonal 3D software where you should dance with tambourine to build complex form like that. Yeah, it would be for sure it's too difficult, and also probably you need to use some creases, you need some support edges, and it's became to the hell of probably complexity of a model of 3D polygonal model, and it's that's why probably I kind of quit from hard surface to characters and like Sculpt and ZBrush, because I've tried like to make hard surface only in typical 3D programs.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's especially what you told about Rhinocore's 3D.
Do you need to do topology for such models for productions? How do you do it? Or is this not your problem?
That's not my problem. That goes to a 3D artist.
Great. Humanoid robots with two spherical things on chest. Good job on your thank you very much. Ik kan proberen Nederlands praten meer, maar het is misschien moeilijk voor Marnix te begrijpen, omdat mijn Nederlands hebben heel problemen.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it is with a heavy accent.
I can imagine.
So it might be interesting to explain what I'm doing right here at the moment. Right now I'm trying to figure out its main landing gear, because I want this plane to be able to land as well, and this is because the height of the main body, I need to understand that if I collapse this landing gear actually works inside, if that could technically fit inside the casing or in the fuselage, and I do think it works. I think in general terms that the size of everything is proportionally correct. I just need to make sure that this is far more compact, far more fitting inside this machine, inside the machine, which I do think I have achieved most of. That the proportion works. Now I actually have to start blocking out all the ways how mechanical parts actually could fit properly. So so now I have to work on all the move on the real moving parts. But this gives me a good idea of if that could actually work. An idea that you want to make sure that it could move is that you can that's something that you then can give to either a 3D artist or an animator, and they can understand what has to move. If you can do that, they don't have to figure that out by themselves, and it makes it easier for them to understand how this will operate, and it's and then it's easier to animate and it works a lot better.
I see. It's I would love to be just a concept artist, probably to to always like just left everything to 3D artist, but I can understand it's not easiest language to harness for foreigners, but again, you're doing just fine. Thank you very much. I've tried to read and ik proberen lezen Nederlands en studeren. But because it's really hard to find, to be honest, practice in Netherlands with your Dutch language, because all people around just want to speak with you on English. If you just if you're starting like to speak Dutch with them, they immediately switching to English because all of them knew it well English, and you just always like just yeah. I kind of often trying like to be honest to start like speak Dutch with people, but they are not appreciate. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
I am also partially guilty of that. A friend of mine who's from Aruba, who studied here in the Netherlands, can speak almost perfect Dutch, but we so often just switch to English. It's
Yeah,
I know a lot of non-Dutch people that live in the Netherlands hate that because they want to learn the language, and I know that we Dutch try to do our best to communicate with the foreigners, and most of them speak better English than Dutch, so we automatically switch to speaking English because it makes it easier.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, it's have sense completely, and but I mean, I love Dutch language. I love Dutch people and the culture, but also I could see some right now issues. Maybe in a way, or maybe it's not issue. But I know some Dutch people who don't speak Dutch. They born in Netherlands. They studied in Netherlands all their life, but all their life they studied like in international schools or academies, and they are like, for example, 30, and they can't speak Dutch, even at 30. It sounds strange for me because yeah, it's like you're born in Netherlands, but you can't speak Netherlands.
I would say that's odd because I've never heard about that, but I can see where that would come from. Yeah,
I mean, maybe yeah. Just have you played Metal Gear 5?
Yes.
Do you remember there was like one of the main enemies who, because there is also like one of story. Kind of story idea about language, and if as you remember, there was parasites who killing people who just speak like in certain type of languages. I think like English or not. I don't remember exactly, but one of the main villain enemy just he want to revenge. I think to USA or something like for or like to I don't remember exactly, but he want to revenge because he's from kind of a country where they spoke like with their own language, and like because English became so popular, their language is kind of starting disappearing and culture disappearing, and he wanted like a revenge for this to English language.
All right, yeah, man, it's been a while since I played the game, but now I vaguely remember it. Yeah,
yeah,
which is an actual fear in a lot of countries, and I kind of that kind of makes sense when you think about it. Like
yeah, I mean.
The thing with language is what connects people. So the better they can understand it, the better they are all. They know what they can expect from each other and how people will interact with each other. And if that's been for generations the same, and then suddenly it's rapidly starts changing, it changes the culture of people. And I think that might be what could be considered a legitimate fear, because it feels like because it might make it look like that your own culture, your own identity, the one thing you grew up with, just is vanishing.
So. Right, and it was kind of like one of the. Yeah, as I said, like ideas of Metal Gear 5, why this one guy became so like main enemy of the world. But yeah, it's I'm appreciate to all Dutch people to speak with me on English or Dutch anyway. Just like what I'm saying, it's more kind of like just my thoughts flying around, and I was thinking like how Dutch people recognize it, or how they are proceed this, because of because I'm from Russia, and there we are in Russia, people usually do not speak English, even some people only, because you don't need it for some reasons so much, because everything just on a own language. And also in the past USSR countries, almost all people speak, like in these countries, speaking Russian. That's why it's like English language, but for past USSR region. And but in Netherlands it's quite different way. Like here everyone speak English, and also Dutch and German and English. It's one group of languages. It's a German group of languages. It's easy to study probably.
I've always been bad with languages in school, but there is quite a lot of similarities to those languages. Also, because we have quite a long history together, good and bad, where there was a lot of cross-pollination of communication. And I think that most of that is connected to each other. I've been to Copenhagen a few times, and I'm surprised how easy it was to understand the Danish language. It's like it's more Dutch than German.
Right.
But if you understand what's going on, it's actually quite easy to follow. Even though I don't really, I can't read the language. I can't read it, but it's very easy to understand when people talk to me, which is very odd.
I can understand. I think like it's the same for me, or for like will be Polish language. I could understand without even learning some certain words, and I would love, of course, like to better understand Netherlands in someday, maybe. But
well, we're in a stream, and there is a lot of probably a lot of people who don't speak Dutch in the stream, I think. So
yeah.
But yeah, in average day life, it might be very beneficial to try and talk Dutch.
King, long time no see. Oh, Mr. Duabel, nice to see you. I'm happy to see you again. Like, how are you doing? We're today with Marnix. He's a concept artist for some spaceships and some games as Stella. He's a great professional of some CAD programs, and he's showing his pipeline, how he's working. What's quite interesting, it's like he also showed like a lot of concept art at the start of the stream in 2D. What he's doing like in just in a 1.5 hour, but it looks like I will spend probably months or more, even just for one concept as he's doing.
The thing is, usually you don't. I usually don't get months to work on one of these concepts. So I usually have to do them in a week or two. And technically, most of this is doable, but you are still working. Oh, what happened here? You really need to understand how to allocate your time with projects like these, because they spiral out of control so quickly. They're a lot of fun, but a lot of when you get the time to develop mechanical functionality, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you always get the time to properly do that.
Are you making some kind of sketches of from real technique stuff? I mean, from vehicles as maybe aircrafts or tanks or something. in your free time?
Yeah, I do that. I do that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, just to better to understand all mechanisms, probably, right? Design
Yeah.
functional part of the design. I see. I've tried like at some point also draw more kind of technical some tools just to understand better some reasons of mechanical elements on etc tools, but I have spent probably 1 month or something. I think it helped me like to at least to better to understand some joints of some vehicles or objects like this. Yeah, but I'm still kind of more kind of character artist and trying to implement everything to the characters. But it was helpful, I would say.
But I think all of that information can always help you in some form or another. I actually still want to go back to do all the character art or at least the live drawing.
Yeah.
I still want to start doing character art, but I want to understand the translation and how the body fits together.
Right. Do you planning to go again for live sessions in Breda?
Yes, but usually I go to the gym on Sunday, and it's like...
Right, it's also on the Sundays. It's 12 o'clock Sunday, I think, right?
It's both on Sundays, but that might change because I think from now on I'm going to the gym on Saturdays.
I do streams like on Sundays. We have Art Sunday on Sundays, and I'm basically busy at this time. Yeah, I've been last time probably in February maybe. There, it's great. I mean, 2 hours to draw cosplayers. That's great. I love what you can draw. Not just even humans. It just you can draw like also cool design of costumes.
Yeah, that's the fun part about it, I think.
Yeah. Also, do you know? I think you might know, right? Like Alois, this popular Dutch artist.
Yeah, I know her.
Have you seen her on these live sessions?
No, I haven't, because I didn't know you were doing them until you recently contacted me. It was like, oh, really? Oh, you're doing these? I should start joining these.
Really? Because when I had first experience in this live drawing session, I remember all people say is like, oh, that's Loish. I was like, who? I didn't know her.
The first time I was there as well, and she was there as well, I had no idea who she was.
Oh, really? Yeah, me either. And people just saying like, you don't know Loish. It's millions viewers, millions followers in Instagram. What Instagram? What is it? And
yeah,
I remember like he's sitting like next to me on a chair on this couch, and I did tell the story in my chat in the stream, and chat says like you probably need to find this couch and grab to home and never clean. But yeah, I mean, Loish is kind of. She's a great artist, and for sure she did draw some concepts for Horizon. She has absolutely amazing techniques in 2D with his line art.
She has an incredible style.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I remember she explaining like her story. She did tell her story about how she struggled during academia, because in academia, as I understood, her teacher doesn't appreciate her style, and she's like need to not fight maybe, or how to say, like she tried like to still stay with own ideas and own style, and she's became so great and popular.
Yeah, that's one of those things unfortunately happened in the Dutch art school stuff. If you want to learn how to draw, don't go to art school. Go to go to industrial design or something like that. Like, because art schools don't teach you how to do art anymore. Or, be yourself with art or something like that. It's that they teach you to be as contemporary and modern art as possible. So if you want to learn how to draw like Rembrandt once did, yeah, that's impossible nowadays. And I think it has to do with that most of those teachers were unable to become successful artists. And maybe maybe there was also an ego issue where they think they know better than everybody else, but nobody sees their genius, and then they became teachers, so they start teaching those ideas to them, and it's like, but most of these people came here to learn how to draw because the Netherlands used to have this top talent of artists all throughout history, and
that's
okay. Most of them went to other countries, sure, but we used to have this legacy, and now if you want to go to a Dutch art school, you're not gonna learn how to. You're not gonna learn to be one of the great masters. You're just gonna be you're gonna learn to be a very quote unquote modern artist, and I might be pissing off a lot of art school students when I say something like this.
That's really interesting.
I'm not trying to piss them off. It's
you already did. Sorry,
but I already. I once had a girlfriend who was at one of those who went to one of those art schools, and I just started talking to one of the teachers, and they did not like me at all.
It was too direct and too Dutch for them.
Yeah.
In Dutch culture, people say it's like they're really direct. If they have some thoughts, they just will share these thoughts without. They will be polite, but at the same time super direct. And I also could see this, like, because in the past, of course, it's Rembrandt, Van Gogh, all that. Rembrandt is more kind of like in a way of a golden masterpiece, like a art era, and. Right now, it's only like modern schools most of the time. But I know in Groningen, you can find some more private school. I think it's called Classical Academy, Drawing Classical Academy, I think like this. And I studied there like some paintings for 2 weeks, something like it was short course. But they are, I think, like presenting in more kind of classical way, traditional way of painting, and there is great teachers, but at the same time I absolutely understand you, because when I've tried to find any art schools in Netherlands, most of the time it's a modern art where it's not about like a traditional way of learning of art, and more about expression. And also I've tried like what's make me super surprised, it's about to find how difficult to find any drawing sessions or courses in Netherlands, because as you said, like Netherlands so famous for according of artists in the past, and right now, like if you're trying to find courses, just courses with live drawing or live drawing sessions, it's became so difficult. In Eindhoven, I think like right now we don't have, or we had before like just one of like a group of this who make some kind of live drawing sessions, organize it. But that's strange. It's because again, Netherlands is like so famous for, according of artists from gold era.
Yeah, and the thing is, that shift actually only happened very recently. It's like 25 years ago when that shift suddenly happened that dramatically. So I don't know why that is. Why that changed so dramatically.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious also. Some jokes about why 3D artists need to go to gym, collect references, of course. I don't know.
And because they sit behind the screen all day and their body starts to look like a shrimp.
Oh yeah, I do actually every day some running or sport or something, because yeah, it's what I love about Netherlands. You just you don't spend your time for metro or something. You don't need to go, like, because if you're living in big cities, in some Saint Petersburg, for example, 6 million of people, you spend like an hour just to go to work and go back. In Netherlands, so perfect. You're just getting your bicycle, and in 5 minutes you're in the center of the city. In 5 minutes you're on the side of the city. It's just so great. You save so much time. Also, environment so great. It's like a lot of nature around. And I think like but it's forces you kind of like for some reasons spend time more at home, because if you need to go somewhere, it's just a 5 minutes and you go back home. You're already at home. But at the same time, what time you get saved, you can use for a gym or for a kind of sport. How I could see my life right now in Netherlands, I'm just or drawing or going to gym, nothing else. It's like a two stages every day. If I will come back to St. Petersburg, it will be plus half of the day just road travel, from point A to point B.
That's something that's always that also fascinates me, but also baffles me about how if you're in the Netherlands. All right, so if you don't live near a city and live in a small village far away from it, and you have to go to the city, it can easily be a half an hour to an hour drive to get somewhere, sure. But when you're in the city, everything is there. Everything that you need to get is like a 5-minute walk away. And what I learned from a lot of other cities, that's almost never the case. It's always a very long travel. Even if the city has supposedly has everything, you have to travel really far to get those things. It's like, but you're in a city where you should have access to everything. Why does it stay so far away? The only other city I encountered where this wasn't the case was in Iceland, and that's in Reykjavik, and that's because it's just very, very small.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but you still have everything there, right? I never been in Reykjavik.
Yes, and the food is amazing.
I can imagine. It's like, because how many people there? It's like 200,000, right?
They have like 300,000 people living in the. I think 300,000, maybe 400,000. Living in Iceland, and basically 200 and around 70% all live in
exactly.
in Reykjavik. So it's like
it's just I mean, in Eindhoven, where I'm living right now, it's 200,000 people, and it's not the biggest city of Netherlands. Biggest, I think, it's Amsterdam, where it's like just a bit above million. Became recently. Before it was 800,000, and Iceland, it's so small for population, but at the same time, I think like it's a kind of probably perfect life there. You just have everything like in their cities, and the beautiful environment, and I'm kind of curious to check how it is going there in one day. I will read.
I want to go back on holiday there. It was a lot of fun there, and the food was amazing. Just the alcohol is expensive.
We need subs. Actually, it's also funny. Vasya Azurik Roll, she write it like we need subs, and she put like as you see, this bracket like just from one side. It's only it's people from a West environment. They don't understand the brackets, because like we're using this in the East part. We're using this a smile without two dots, and you can see maybe in some Counter-Strike games, like people will just write these brackets without dots, and it's mean like a smile. I just I recognized it also when I came to Netherlands. I was like, or Germany. No one don't understand, just brackets without dots. I can give my own 2 cents on what Marnix talked about concerning art school in Netherlands. Since I went to one here myself, it's completely right about what he's saying. Yeah, I can imagine at work we also have a great guy who is also complaining about the same certain things, consistencies. Having aspiration like ours is seen as sticking to your comfort zone and selling yourself short. Yeah. Sound like happiness. It's about Netherlands. Yeah, I agree. Netherlands is one of best countries where you can live for living. I think it's the best. I think favorite city what I've seen it's Rome. Still Rome, it's most like a beautiful city, but for living Netherlands it's perfect. You just beautiful environment, everything is nearby. You don't spend time for travel like just in a public transport. You're just using only bikes. I really love, and weather, a lot of rain. I'm happy. Sasha Ray Evans writing, I miss Japanese trains and underground. Although being too expensive, you can get anywhere very quickly. I haven't been in Japan never, but I know like right now it's became more and more popular for tourism. It's a lot of my friends sharing photos on Instagram and everywhere like about Japan, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going this in a couple of months. I'll be going on holiday to Japan as well. So
That's great. It might be super expensive, as Sasha wrote it about.
well, the plane ticket is expensive. Other than that, it's actually quite nice.
Right. Guys, we will start in a few minutes right now presentations of works for what we're doing for competition, geomet competition. I will finish right now with like reading some questions for Marnix maybe. I mean, you still can ask like a Marnix everything what you want, and Marnix you can stay if you want like but like currently we're already in 2 hours of modeling and drawing together, and now it will be next stage of highlighting works.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fast. Yeah, I can. Of course, I can stay. That would be fun to see.
That's great. That's great. One moment, I realized who Slava reminds me of. You look like actor Guy Pearce. Who is it? I will check it. I think I've seen him in some movies. I don't remember which one. Yeah, I think I have some kind of yeah, I see. Yeah, I do looks like him, or he looks like me, but he's yeah. Yep. And bottom of tourism now, they are also planning on adding separate pieces for residents and non-residents in famous touristic spots. Oh, really? I saw him in Iron Man 3. Yeah, I seen like it's one of the. Okay, I can show what's Guy Pearce. It's that's guy. I think I could see some similarity of myself. Like, and
you need glasses and not shave your beard for a while.
Yeah, and Sasha writing like what's tourism right now. It's super popular and it's going like some separating even for tourists some zones, because for some reasons when I've been in a famous for tourism cities as Paris, or Brussels, or in the Czech Republic, I've been. Sometimes like there is so many tourists, what became a bit you also a tourist in that moment, but you understanding it's too much tourists as you in the same place. It should be some regulations, maybe like according of how many. I don't know how to do it like this, but anyway. All right, I will just do. I will put right now just my screen, and we will just check. We will highlighting works. Так, okay. Guys, you will see right now I did prepare. I did save all pictures in one folder, and here it's more than I think 200 pictures. I think 5 seconds per picture would be okay. It's like we will spend probably near 20 minutes for this. And of course, Marnix, if you want like to share your like opinions, it would be great. Also, you can see like on the Twitch.
I can see it. It's just I'm not sure if I'm gonna stop sharing my screen right now. Done.
You should see on a YouTube, right?
I can see there. So what's the challenge about exactly?
Oh, what's the challenge about? Okay, challenge is about to get like some works, any works of Joe Madureira. I will show to you like his fun site. That's his fun site, fun art site. Not fun art. It's one of the guy. He did like a site where he collect all works of Joe Madureira till 2021. And challenge is to get any characters or props from a concept from Joe Madureira and create this in 3D. And we have like a timeline as 8 weeks. And every week we have a kind of plan for every week. First week it's a concept art, second week it's blocking, third week like next 4 weeks it would be high poly. After week number 7 it will be poly paint, and week number 8 it will be render. And idea is to create kind of like collectible model. I will try to show some idea is to create some kind of like collectible models like this, but based on a Joe Madureira concept. And it shouldn't be like a really collectible models. It's only should make like a feelings of collectible models in 3D. Why? Because then we can exclude some certain technical different way of realization of 3D. Like for example, if it's a statue or collectible model like this, right? You hair on the models, it's not a just polygons like a planes. It's became like a more as solid shape, solid form. One of the example, and and right now we're on stage 2. On the second week, and second week of it's about creating a block mesh for our models. And we will start now to see all our what we did for a week.
Okay.
Oh, Sasha, right. Okay, I have to leave now.
Then I understand the challenge. So
yeah. Sasha, Ray Evans, good luck, and thank you very much for participating our stream today. I hope you did draw something cool and enjoy it during a stream. Let's go. Play slideshow. We will see. Hey, not the screen. 1 sec. All right, 5 seconds per work. Here on the top, you can see who did this. Adeline Art. I think she also. I think it was she. Sorry. She did also time lapse. And if you guys will be interesting to see more about this artist, you can find in a Telegram group with our challenge according of his name, his topic, and maybe more screenshots, more kind of like progress. I'll probably a bit slide. Oh. That was progress of Adeline. Screenshots. Yeah, screenshots started. Мы не видим... Oh, you don't see... Oops. One sec. I will check. А почему не видно? А я вижу. Сейчас, секунду. А я знаю почему. Yeah. One second, guys. I will make it visible. Oh, now you can see right on the top. Adeline, we're confusing English stream. We're continuing English stream. Need names. Yeah. All right. Now it's. I think it's work. It's time for some Dutch talks. Wij kunnen proberen, maar alleen 3 of 4 personen begrijpen ons. Аджика. Ну, такий влог може.
Ooh, that stuff looks good.
Yeah, Aджика did a great... he wanna make some huge composition on spaceship. Oh, on maybe it's too fast. 5 seconds. But it will be 20 minutes technically right now. We will see. Alexey Panov. Yeah. Also, guys, in a if you will like some works, you can always check them in a record of the stream and see names who it was. I think it's Electra. Anastasia Apalkova, right? Yeah, or maybe it's better not to read for me any nicknames because I'm kind of worried like to say wrong something. This one I also really enjoyed. It was really great low poly. I mean, I enjoyed most of all of them, but some of them like it was so not typical for me pipeline maybe. Fool. Anton Guzeev, also great one. Да, Anton Zhukov. It is a. We have even Marnix. We have like a family who participates this challenge. Like a 2-person from family who doing some goals.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. Not maybe really surprised, but I'm so happy to see like how we going right now. We're just doing right now like this blocking, and it's more than 100 artists on this stage. Like I think like around 140 something like this number, and some people even not. They maybe didn't want to share maybe in highlights, but they not put like some hashtags, because I did collect only works with hashtags today. And I think it's near 160-70 people according to also first week. We have also some judges from game industry, we have 14 really great judges who will share their opinion, and we will have 3 stages of judgment process. Like we will collect top 16, and after we will came to top 4, and after we will find who is first, who is second, third, and fourth. That's plan. And I'm planning to make some gift as Dutch Belgium chocolate. I think it's great, right? What do you think about chocolate in the Netherlands?
That's good.
One of the most famous, I think, chocolate. Belgium one.
Yeah, I don't actually eat a lot of chocolate at all.
Oh, really? I need to try this blocking. It looks amazing pipeline. Oh yeah, Vasya. But I think like you tried like before some blockings, or maybe I confused because I've seen your art also in a way of blocking. Like for example, this girl, what you did, what you're doing now with red hair in your free time. My bad, realizing still. Thanks for follow. Thanks. Chocolate. Yeah, we call in English chocolate. Chocolate. Крутилочки. Yeah, that's some slang of Slavic languages. It's mean turntable. Did I say like on Russian? I haven't. Wow, that's. I mean, I really love this one. I kind of surprised. I was thought it's mostly will be Red Monica or Death from Darksiders, but for some reason, some characters as I think it's Electra. We have 4 or 5, or right now she's again, right? It's Electra, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, this Electra before I forgot the name. We have 3 or 4, I think, Electras. We have 3 or 4 this Storm, I think, girl, and it's not so many actually Red Monica as I thought it will be. Just because of it's. I got like a most probably common character from this universe, just because of I'm also participate this challenge, and I also do a lot of I would say organization stuff, like to make the stream, to make like also I would say like I have a lot of help from our admins. They always trying to resolve all, like to make answers for all questions. This is for Boost actually. It wasn't one of the I don't know, out of Arlequin who like a lot of people want us to model, but Boost we have in a different category. Right now I also participate and I got like Red Monica just because of I have a lot of organization stuff, and I was thinking like that's one of the reasons why I've got like a most common to have as less as possible I would say questions to character what I'm doing. Did you, Marnix, did you have experience in any challenges? Did you participate any challenges in past?
I did with some. I once I did participate in the first 2 art station challenges, and I never ever finished them. Because those challenges happened when I was going to university, so I was studying, and well, I had to make a choice, either school or finishing the challenge. So in the end, I choose to finish. I try to finish school first, and well, I think I have those art pieces still laying around somewhere, but I have no clue where. I try to make sure that most of my files are well organized, and they didn't used to be. So there's still a lot of hidden stuff somewhere all scattered over my hard drive, and I haven't been able to find them.
Right, but if it will be something about hard surface challenge, you might participate, I think, right? Because you're currently one of the probably most popular designers in Instagram, at least, for sure. I mean, not at least, for sure. You have a great amount of followers.
Maybe, but that's I'm very bad at posting stuff on Instagram as well. But
yeah.
I don't think I would get close to some of the other guys that currently. Oh, I have 4,600, almost 4,700 followers. Okay,
that's
quite a lot.
Huge number.
That's quite a lot.
But
I do know that my helicopter, I made a turntable for my helicopter design, and I know that one went viral. It's badly. The worst part is it's a badly cropped turntable as well. So, and it has 5,800 likes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, after that, my following and likes exploded. Before that, all the stuff I did, if I'm lucky to get 200 likes on something. So, so after that, actually, I think it skyrocketed most of my.
Right, but do you try also? Have you tried also to post in X? Because some artists right now just saying. X giving to them a bit more, I would say, not popularity, but followers and also attention for their art from another artist.
Yes, from I look on it every couple of months, and that's mainly because, well, I'm just gonna call it Twitter because the user interface has not changed, and it's one of the most horrible user interfaces ever. And I can't understand why it got so popular. It's so annoying to use.
Yeah,
and
I see what you mean.
It's great for posting, like you say hi or something, or I made breakfast, and that's all you type, and I post it and don't do anything else. Then it's alright. So I don't understand how it ever got popular, because it's the worst.
Oh, I think like as I could see on the X, it's a certain of type of art came more likable, I would say. It's also kind of difficult questions, like what do you want? You want to create like just what you like, or you want to create something that particularly will be popular in that social network? Because I think in the X and the Twitter, it's became popular some stylized, simple shaped like a 3D objects, and because for example I did like some cat with really simple shapes with great artist with Daniil, and it became most popular model, but it's one of the most probably my simplest model that I posted somewhere, but I think it's because of usually people are reading X on a phone, and in a phone it should be really simple shapes to be in a small format, really readable and like appeal. That's how it's work. And it's kind of like a forcing you to special style if you want to be popular there. But that's also a question: what you're looking for, be popular or just do, or maybe it's like you just enjoy it, like this. What is popular? Then no issues, no problems. Because
I think I think it's more important to keep making the things you like.
I agree. I mean, it's also for me it's the same. but I also will not like I will say like some people love to make probably a simple like and beautiful like shapes and forms and the stylized objects. What's really popular became popular in the X, and it's like just a it just depends. But I agree, like you first of all you need to do like what you love to work on.
Yeah, I do think that it's not a bad idea to learn and understand how to get better search engine optimization, so you can more easily be found, and it's easier to interact and get your work out there, especially if you don't have a network yet and you try to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you follow each trend just to gain more popularity and followers, I can almost guarantee you that you're gonna have a way harder time trying to get work than if you focus on what you're good at.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Like for example, I don't know if you people if you ever heard of if you know who's the designer who designed a lot of the vegetation for the movie Avatar from James Cameron that got the one movie that made over $1 billion. This one person who is an incredible artist, but she used to have barely any followers on ArtStation or on most social media. Well, it's gotten a lot better. But she was already working on a lot of big budget film productions as somebody who's designing things like vegetation and stuff like that for fantasy projects. And purely because she was good at doing that and she liked doing that. And,
right. Yeah.
But she barely had any following online ever.
Yeah,
even though she used most of those platforms for many years already, and none of it was private, so it was all out there. It wasn't following any trend or anything. And I know people who have a lot of followers and are always complaining of having trouble finding work. And I'm just thinking about you see the differences. One is trying to get as many followers as possible, and the other doesn't really care about that and likes doing what she does, and because she gets a lot of work doing that kind of stuff,
right,
she can keep doing that kind of work, and she can keep doing what she enjoys. And I think that understanding what and why you're doing what you do is more important. Like, do you really care more about getting more followers? Then make sure to follow all those trends. But if you really want to get work for this based on the stuff you like to do, focus on that.
Right. It's no one didn't share this idea actually before, and it's I think it's like you touched something really deep and interesting topic to start thinking about. Yeah, what's more important to just because for some reasons also social network maybe likes, all that stuff will help you with some connections or something, but yeah, what you shared, like some people who worked in Avatar and they professional of their like in their direction, and and they always will have like a job because they best at some certain things, so like for this type of career or movie of job. But at the same time they might not have any likes or followers on a social network because it's just not popular topic in social networks. That's really interesting.
I do think that if you're a good artist, that makes it's very easy to get famous, probably, because either it's because you work on many projects with your name on it and people recognize either that, or your work just strikes a certain emotions with a lot of people, and you also post that on your social media, then it's easy to get a lot of followers, I think. So if you try to I don't say don't post on social media. I think it's really cool because then you can share what you like to do with friends and family, and potentially people you might be able to work with in the future or something like that. But if your only goal is to gain as much followers as possible, you have to follow specific trends, and they will always change consistently, and you have to continually adapt to that. And that is, if that's your priority, you should do that. But if it's not your priority, I don't think it's a smart idea to try to do that. Like, so it's really where do you put the value of your art, and do you want people to see your art, or do you want companies to see your art, or do you just want to show what you work on? You know, it's trying to find a balance between those elements. That's where it really comes down to, when that or at least that's how I think about it.
Yeah.
And I am very bad at optimizing social media to gain followers. I just don't post anything for like 6 months, and then I post 3 things every day for like a few days, and it's like, well, here it is, I'm still alive, and then I disappear for a very long time.
I see. Yeah, I think like I do post on the social media only, I don't know, I just at some point I start posted like my worst works probably, or just because of I didn't care so much about any social media. Now I kind of like start again, like just a bit worried more, and I stop like post some kind of unfinished works or something like that, just because of I'm in different right now, like a way of what I want to show. But yeah, we finish it right now, our works. Guys, is it okay? It was 5 seconds. I was kind of, for some reason I was worried. Maybe it was too short, but it was 20 minutes technically. We watched like all works. Something even more probably. We can discuss probably in our Telegram group lately if it was okay or not. 5 seconds, maybe we can do longer, but then stream will extend. Because last stream I did manually, like I just showed every one person from Telegram, and it's get like around 2 hours. So I was like, probably will prepare, like collect them, all of them in a folder before and show. But yeah, technically today we are done. And like if we have maybe some questions for Marnix, please. Also, I've seen like someone is hello Minal, write it ASMR stream. I don't know why people say it's ASMR stream always to me, but I think it's good probably. Blin, I added my work only today. Oh no, hold on, no. In that case, you can just add next week hashtag as week number 3, hashtag week 3, and we will check in the next week your work. We will add it. We will also probably discuss in chat later, like how much time we need per work, like maybe 5 seconds was okay or not. Then guys, if you have questions for Marnix, maybe like it's a last chance. And yeah, okay. Marnix, I'm super happy to have a stream with you, to model together with you, and you showed like I was really surprised, to be honest. I haven't recognized your 3D. Your concepts was without any 3D art. I was thought you just using some kind of models, but they looks like really as 3D. Looks for me impressed, very impressed. Your work is great, by the way. I like your station. Yeah, Marnix, your station is amazing. That's also true. Yeah.
I need to update it a little bit. I need to make sure that most of the work there is a bit more properly presented.
Morning's cool. Yeah, I agree. I would like. I've seen. We've seen. I think we've seen each other last time probably 3 years ago or something like that, right? Like a long time ago, maybe 4. I remember in Eindhoven.
Yeah, that is. It was at playgrounds.
Oh, it was. Okay. Yeah, or maybe it
No,
was
not
center
Not
of
lots of
Eindhoven.
playgrounds, but it has been quite a while ago. Yeah.
Right. All right. Then I think we can find maybe someday and some maybe activities as maybe drawing sessions or something, or playground, and met again. And I would happy to again to spend time with great artist and person.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. That would be fun. That is fun.
Yeah. All right. Then, guys, I will make right now rate to some channels what I know. Okay. We can go to check Valentina and Lives of P. But before, I will ask you guys, all of you, to hug your cats, dogs, your pets, your family, and have a great Sunday. And I hope we definitely will see next Sunday. Just enjoy your week and your time. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Marnix.
Thank you for having me on stream. Great audience as well. Great questions as well. So this was fun.
Yeah, it was super amazing to have chat with you. All right, see ya.
All right, see ya.